Hey guys, it's Jean from Happy Indulgence, and today is the last day of 2015. It's been an eventful year, and I wanted to talk about some of the highlights of December for you. So December, along with Christmas and spending time with family and the holidays, I've got some exciting news. So I got engaged at the Whitsundays. Basically, it was me and the boyfriend's 10-year anniversary, and we went and celebrated at the Great Barrier Reef. We did snorkeling and we were staying on Daydream Island, which is a beautiful tropical island. And yeah, so I'm really excited and still processing and getting used to everything. If you haven't seen already, I blogged about the day on happyindulgencebooks.com, so go and check it out. During December, I read 10 books, so I'll let you guys know what my thoughts were on the books that I read, from 5 stars to 1 stars, and then I'll give you my brief thoughts on them. So I've just finished reading 6 of Crows, and oh my gosh guys, I know why everyone says this is the best book of 2015. Basically, if you're looking for an impossible heist story but set in a really richly detailed Grisha world, Grisha are basically classes of magicians. Oh my gosh, it is fantastic. It took me a while to get into because of all the different Russian mythology and terminology, and the vivid setting was so descriptive. The Grisha world is really rich, and it talks about everything from, the traders to textiles to the food and the types of people, their ideologies and how they behave. But as you get used to it and you get over the learning curve, my gosh, this is such a fantastic heist story. It was exciting, it was thrilling, there were hints of romance, there were so many fantastic characters in here, and you will ship it so much. And it ends on a really exciting cliffhanger, and oh my gosh, I loved it. This is a huge 5 stars for me, and I only wish I read it before I listed the top 10 books of the year. The 5-star books that I read was The Walking Dead book 12. I've been collecting these for a few years now. This one continues the story of Rick and the survivors. There's different factions now, and it's fantastic as usual. The artwork is great. You see the return of a lot of beloved characters, but oh my gosh, when you reach that final page, it's like wham! It's like so shocking, and gosh, it took me a while to recover. And that's Walking Dead for you. It's fantastic. The next book I read was Chimera. This book is scientifically manufactured tapeworm zombies. It's pretty disturbing, but it actually goes through the political ideology of different factions. There's the scientists who think that they're bettering people's lives, and then there's the military who want to eradicate all these tapeworms. It talks about humankind, it talks about science and technology and the greater good, and Sal is a really great protagonist who questions everything. This is the 3rd book in the series. It starts off with Parasite, then Symbiont, and the 3rd book is Chimera. So if you love horror, if you love science, if you love something a bit different, I recommend this series. It's pretty awesome, guys. I also read on my Kindle The Martian. I watched the movie last month and I really enjoyed it. Mark Watney is a botanist, and he's a part of NASA who ends up on a space mission go wrong. He's stranded on Mars, and it's basically a survival story where he goes against all odds to survive. It's like Murphy's Law. Everything could go wrong for Mark on Mars, and he solves it with science. And he has this great humor about him. He's really relatable. It's one of the best space survival movies I've ever watched, and the book is just the same. I thought the book was a bit more technical than the movie. If you don't like info dumps with science terminology that you don't really know, you can skim over it in the book, but I thought, it just felt tense and exciting throughout the whole thing. Whether you watch the book or the movie, both are fantastic. I gave this one 4.5 stars. The next book I read was Eleanor Park. It's just a really great love story. It really gave me those feelings of when you're first falling in love and how you just, get to know each other. It's exciting, it's new. Those flutterings in your heart and the butterflies in your stomach. It really captures all of that. Eleanor Park was surprisingly dark. I didn't expect it to deal with, domestic violence, to deal with bullying and abuse and alienation. The only thing I didn't like about this was Eleanor's character. And she was really stoic, she wasn't open with her feelings, and she was a bit prickly at times. Park, on the other hand, is so sweet. He's a bit naive, thinking his first love is going to last forever. And you know what? That's what makes it a bit realistic. The characters are flawed. That's what I really enjoyed about Eleanor and Park. So I gave this 4 stars, and it's a great, cute, contemporary read. My next 4-star read was My True Love Gave to Me. This is a compilation of Christmas short stories from 12 authors. I'm not usually a short story fan, but I actually quite enjoyed this one. There were so many diverse reads of hope and different couples falling in love and getting to know each other. It really just gives you that holiday feeling of hope, you know, of forgiveness. It was a great festive read and yeah, perfect for the season. The other book I read was Snow Like Ashes. I was really excited about this because everyone's been raving about it. And the concepts of different kingdoms based on, you know, winter, spring, summer, and autumn was really interesting. It was hard for me to get into at the start because Mira's basically a really naive, immature warrior, and she thinks you can't enjoy, you know, dressmaking or socializing or politics at home because she thinks it makes her weak. And gosh, she does go through a lot of character development throughout the book. Mira's meant to be kick-ass and awesome and great at defending, but I felt like it was more telling than showing. Luckily, I stuck with the book. After a painful love triangle with Theron, who is the prince of the kingdom of Cordell, and Mather, Mira's best friend, who she's in love with, it actually gets quite exciting as she gets captured. She leads an army and, you know, there's a lot of political intrigue and twists and lots of action later on. I ended up rating this book 3.5 stars. I love the concept, I love the world building, but the love triangle, the romance, and the main character didn't really do it for me. Everyone has been raving about this book, and it's based on the tales of Arabian Nights, and it's basically a retelling. This one was executed quite well, but I had so many problems with it, it made me rage. The thing that annoyed me was the romance. I found that it developed way too quickly. Shahzad is a great feisty character. She's arrogant and she's not afraid to tell people what she thinks of them, and that's why the boy king who's killed over 70 women warms to her. But I couldn't actually see what he found so special about her. Is it that he likes to be whipped around, or is it that he likes a girl to tell him what to do, or does he like the women to remind him of his mother? Who really knows? Declaring his romance for her after the first night and then singing her songs of praises and how she's the, you know, best woman that he's ever met. So it all seemed pretty unbelievable to me. And basically, the premise of the story is that Shahzad goes into the kingdom. She wants to get close to Khalif and take vengeance for her best friend. But instead, she falls in love with the killer of her best friend. He's a murderer. Like, how can you fall for someone like that? He's just full of secrets. And of course, you know it's going to redeem his character, but for me, it never really did. How is one life more important than 80 lives? And those 80 lives are all women, which tells a story, doesn't it? I've ranted enough about this book, but I still gave it 3 stars. It's unique and it's a great setting. The next book I read was The Bureau of Time, written by my author friend Brett Michael Orr. This is a great time travel book about adjusters who are going after time walkers who can shift time. There's 2 points of views here. There's different time walkers. There's Cassie, who can move time back or forward a few steps. Or there's Sean, who can shift time forward and heal his wounds. It was a really interesting concept and the writing was done really, really well. And there's also a hilarious villain. It's like he's so arrogant about his evilness that it almost comes out really funny. It's set in a military setting called the Bureau of Time. And I found the military settings to feel really authentic. You know, not that I would know, but it felt like I was playing Call of Duty again. You know, they don't skimp on the weapons or or the training or the tactics, and the writing was descriptive and concise at the same time. What I didn't enjoy about this book, however, was the female main character and the romance. They fall in love pretty quickly and it's insta-love, and Cassie has really great powers, right? But she's a damsel. All she does is, you know, want the men to save her. Overall though, I gave this one 3 stars and I'll be interviewing Brett next week. I hope you guys can check it out and check out the Bureau of Time. The next book I read was All My Secrets by Sophie McKenzie. I just found it really predictable. Oh, it's like when you meet a guy and all of a sudden that's what the book is about. That's what the whole book is about, this romance. I don't mind romance, but when the plot just goes out the window because some guy, it just felt ridiculous. So when I got to the end of the book, it just felt predictable and I didn't really feel satisfied after reading it. So I gave this one 1 star. So those were the books that I read during December. I hope you found some new favorites, and if you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, or check out happyindulgencebooks.com. So thanks for watching everyone. I hope you enjoyed it and Happy New Year!